good afternoon. I'm Kelly and I work for Community Renewal. I'm in the Next Step project in Edinburgh. I can see a few people joining us now on the live, so thank you for joining us. It's nice to virtually see you. This is how we're working at the moment. If you haven't heard about the Next Step project before, do have a look at our website to see what we can offer. But we work in the Edinburgh area to support people into employment. That might be that somebody needs to get a bit of help to access some training, or to figure out what it is that they actually want to do by way of working. We know that things have changed in the landscape recently. Today we are going to talk to Rebecca from People's Energy. There are certain areas where there's a little bit of growth, and energy is one of them, which is why we're talking to a local energy employer, and you'll find out a lot more from Rebecca. If people do feel like they need some support, it's free and it's tailored to you as an individual, so it's not just a package, but we can help you if you need some support with your CV. It might be that you're looking for some interview help. You might just find it quite useful to be working with somebody while you're figuring out what it is that you're doing. We do work with people as well who are in employment, and particularly right now we are very aware that if people are on the furlough scheme, that's coming to an end. It might be that your employer can offer you continued work, but perhaps at reduced hours. I know there's negotiation perhaps around reduced salaries, so it might be that you need to then look at something else. So do get in contact with us. We'll put you in touch with one of our friendly members of staff. Like I say, we're all working from home at the moment, and we're doing the best that we can to support people. So the number to call us afterwards, if you want to link up with somebody for help, is 0300 365 0025, and we'll put all the details up with the video on the link as well, so it'll be in the comments, so don't worry if you've not had a chance to write that down. You can give us a call, no problem. So I'm just going to see if Rebecca is here, and I'm going to try and bring her on the video. I wonder, Rebecca, if you are watching, can you perhaps comment, and I can bring you on that way. So we're all enjoying using different modes of technology at the moment, so let's just see if we can get Rebecca on at the moment. If I can see a few people watching this at the moment, can somebody comment that you can hear and that you can see this okay? And we'll try and bring Rebecca on. Okay, here we go. Thanks everybody for your patience. And we've got, thanks Graham, that's great. Okay, fantastic. So you can hear coming through now. So here we have Rebecca. Hello. Rebecca.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Good,
nice.
Good. I know, it's good. It's good to be back. Good to be back on.
Absolutely. So I was just saying there, Rebecca, People's Energy, there are certain areas in Edinburgh and across Scotland where there's a bit of growth, there are going to still be jobs, and energy is one of them. And People's Energy is a local company, so for people who've maybe never heard of you before, because you're reasonably new, can you just give a bit of a background as to who you are as a company? That would be great.
Yeah, no worries. So, for people that haven't heard of us before, People's Energy is a company that was founded back in 2017. So, yeah, like you said, we're a pretty new company, only been around for a couple of years. But we are in an area, luckily, that is still experiencing growth. You know, it's an industry that is, sustainable. We actually started with about 30 employees back in 2017, and we now have over 300. So it's been great to kind of see that growth really kind of be steady as well, over the past couple of years. So People's Energy are a living wage employer. We're a community interest company. We're actually the only community interest company energy supplier in the UK. Which is great. So a community interest company, for people that have maybe not heard of it before, are a company that puts the needs of the community kind of above making profits for, shareholders, for example. So for us, it really maintains that transparency and builds a relationship with customers as they know that we're going to be true to our word. And we pledge that up to 75% of our profits will get paid back to our customers when we're in a position to do so. So for us, it's very much people before profit in everything that we do and all of the decisions that we make. Yes, we want to support, the wider and local communities as well in any ways that we can. So, supporting them financially and ethically. And we also maintain a very strong focus on renewable energy, which is something that a lot of people are very conscious of, and it's something that we wanted to be at the forefront of as well, being an energy provider. So one of our main goals was to achieve 100% renewable energy. Within electricity, we have green electricity, that's sourced from renewable generators in the UK. And we also have gas. So with the green gas, this is generated from kind of food and farm waste. There's not much of it in the UK right now, but we do have some. So we have 100% renewable gas available for business customers, and we're working on rolling that out domestically to our kind of domestic customers as well. So that's something that we are very much focused on. It's something that we're putting a lot of effort in to at the moment as well. One of our other goals is to fight fuel poverty in the UK. That's something that's really, really important to us. So we do that through, providing low cost tariffs, and supporting our members. So members is what we call customers. If you hear me say that and you get a bit confused, that's what we call them at People's Energy. So we really want to be able to support people and provide them with kind of all of the advice, the information, the tariffs that we can to make sure that they have equal access to energy, because we believe that energy is not a luxury, and that everybody should be able to have access to that. So that's a couple of the ways that we're doing that as well. So yeah, that's a very brief overview of us.
Fabulous, that's great. And whereabout are you based?
So at the moment, we have 3 offices actually. So our first office was in Esk Mills in Musselburgh. We actually don't have any kind of regular staff in that office. We mostly use that for training now because we very quickly grew out of it. So our main office, our biggest office, is in Shawfair, near Dalkeith. So if people watching this know where the Sheriff Hall Park and Ride is, we're very, very close to the park and ride. And we also have another smaller office in Selkirk in the Scottish Borders. So 3 offices in total, but the majority of our staff are based in Shawfair.
Fantastic. And we'll get on to what positions you've got available right at this moment in time, but it might be useful if you can maybe give an overview as to what general posts that you might have opening at any given time, just because it does sound like a really good company and people might want to just keep an eye on in the future what you've got coming up. So what kind of jobs have you got in general?
Yeah, so the bulk of our roles are within the customer service function. That's the biggest part of what we do is providing that support for our members. So a large majority of the roles are in that function, but across a variety of different roles. So for example, your customer service advisors, so kind of an agent level, and we've got a variety of other roles within that too, including floor walkers, team leaders, supervisors, so people that are interested in the customer service side. There's a huge variety of opportunities within that side. Other functions that we quite frequently recruit for as well would be your back office or an admin roles as well. And so a lot of these very much support the customer service side. So maybe people who have experience with the energy industry might recognise, a collections administrator, for example. These kinds of roles that are separate to the customer service roles, but they very much work together. We recruit for roles in learning and development, for example. Finance we recruit for quite frequently as well as we continue to grow. I think this is important to note as well. As we are growing so rapidly, there's always going to be new roles that come in that we've never had before. For example, I have been with People's Energy for just about a month now, and it was a new role that I came into as a recruitment coordinator myself. So that role didn't exist prior to that point. But as we grow, there will be kind of constant need for new roles. So I would encourage people, if they don't see a role that they think might suit them at this point, definitely keep an eye on the careers page on our website, because that's where we will post, all of our roles. So you'll be able to kind of see, changes or any new positions that come up as we grow.
Thank you. And so what specifically have you got available at the moment? Because obviously the people watching now are probably, quite keen to get involved and learn more. So what is it that you've got available now?
Yeah, so we're looking for, firstly, we're looking for customer service advisors. So we would call those membership support consultants. Like I said, we call our customers members. So if people are looking and they see that MST, membership support team, they might see that on the website. That's a customer service advisor position. So we're looking for agents to start in January, February time. At the moment, that's what we're looking for with that side. We're also looking for customer contact team leaders, and also customer service floor walkers within that customer service side. And we do have a role that we're looking for in finance at the moment as well, which I believe is a finance analyst that we're looking for at the moment. So that's kind of our main priorities that we're looking for new people at the moment.
And so I suppose that the more specialist roles will have more detail online as to what it is that you're looking for. But for the customer service agents, what kind of person are you looking for? What would you be keen to see on a CV or when they present themselves at interview? Do people need experience when they come to you? How does that work?
Yeah, so I'll chat very briefly. I'll kind of talk about the role just so people have an idea of kind of how it all works together. So our membership support consultants support members kind of with any queries that come in, any calls that come in. So helping them, understanding their account if they're new to the company, maybe if they've switched, tariffs recently, or they just have a query, something doesn't add up, they're not sure what's going on. And answer any questions that these individuals have coming in. So that might be, like I said, about their accounts, about payments, about setting up payments, meter readings, everything in between. So that majority of that role is on the telephone, but there would be, occasional kind of off the line work, over email, following up with the customers as well, occasionally maybe on the web chat, and also making sure that those processes are still running very smoothly. So the kind of admin side of that role, dealing with your follow-ups, etc. So just to give you some context, that's what that kind of role would entail. So our ideal candidate would be somebody that really embodies and shares People's Energy's values. We're a very, very value-driven company. We strive to be open and honest, transparent, very human in the way that we operate. We want to treat people like they deserve to be treated. You know, these individuals are calling up because they're with us and we want to be able to support them. We pride ourselves, like I said, on being open and honest, and having that transparency to make sure they know exactly what's going on at any stage in the process. You know, so we can provide them with updates, you know, make sure that our customer service teams are taking ownership of those calls as well. So if that customer does need a follow up, or, you know, they need to be, you know, kept in the loop, we really want people who are able to kind of follow through with their promises. Because one of our other kind of main missions is to never break promises that we make to our customers. And, you know, we always want to keep them happy with whatever we do. You know, these employees that we bring on, we want them to kind of actively promote those values in their interactions with employees. So, you know, somebody that has a great phone manner, who can build relationships well, which can be different over the telephone. You know, if people on this live today, you know, if they have contact centre experience or customer service experience, you'll kind of know about building relationships, and it can be a little bit different on the phone without that, you know, face-to-face aspect, that body language. I mean, I can see as I'm talking, I'm using my hands a lot. Obviously, you on the phone, you can't see that. In terms of experience, contact centre or call centre experience is great. That's fantastic to have, but it's not essential. It's not something that, you know, is kind of something that we definitely look for, but it is obviously great to have. But we are looking for people with customer service experience. You know, that could be in retail, for example, if it's not in a contact centre. But somebody who's had experience, you know, dealing with customers, you know, dealing with queries, questions, being able to solve problems for the customers as well. So yeah, no requirements of contact centre experience, but it is obviously, you know, it's always great, you know, background to have. We are also looking for people that are able to commit to a variety of shift patterns. Obviously, we need to make sure that our lines are covered, you know, at any one time, that we've got peak periods covered. So our lines are open Monday to Sunday, 8 till 8, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. And we would look for people that could cover kind of any shift pattern within that. You would be given shifts in advance, so you know kind of when you're working, but it's just so that we are able to kind of have that cover when we need it. We want people who, you know, really have a drive and a passion for helping others, you know, and solving their problems, and providing those, you know, exceptionally high standards to every single one of our customers, you know, regardless of the situation. Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous. If somebody's really, really new to this kind of environment, then what would happen if they were successful initially? What kind of induction would they have if somebody's a bit nervous about that because it's really new for them?
Yeah, so all of our new starts in the customer service side, we go through the same training. So what we've been doing up until now, and we hope to still do, is a week to 2 weeks of on-site classroom-based training. So that training would give you an insight into People's Energy as a company, you know, what we do, what we're striving for, but would also give really good insights into the energy industry as a whole as well, because it is quite a big industry. There's lots to learn in terms of regulations, etc. as well. So that sort of classroom-based training on site with a trainer. There would be team leaders there to support you as well. And that's really important to kind of build those relationships, you know, especially like you said, if you're new, if you're feeling a little bit nervous, it's great to have that opportunity to meet other new starts, you know, at the same time. And then after that, you would move into sort of our academy period, you know, for a further sort of 4 to 6 weeks, where there's, you know, further additional support there as well, for you know, any kind of questions or queries that people have.
That's great. That's quite robust then. So hopefully that eases anybody's nerves around that. And once they've done the training, are people where are people currently going to be based? Would they be in Shawfair or working from home?
Yeah, so at the moment, after that sort of initial training period, we would move to sort of a temporary kind of work from home kind of setup. So it is an office-based role. You know, people are based in Shawfair, and we're just working from home at the moment while, you know, that's the guidance in place, just to keep our staff safe, and reduce the number of people going in and out of the office. So you would be kind of temporarily based at home after that initial period, but it is an office-based role. So once it was safe to do so, and we had kind of that advice and guidance, we would bring people back into the office when it's safe to do so.
And presumably all the equipment that somebody needed to work from home would be supplied for them.
Yeah. So everything that you need to would be kind of, you get that set up in that first week of training. So you had everything that you needed to move to that kind of temporary home working setup as well.
Yeah, fabulous. Somebody's asking, so they've applied for a role and they're just looking for some information on what the recruiting process is. So once somebody has submitted a CV, what happens next? What's the process? And I suppose there'll be other people maybe watching that will be of interest as well if they apply.
Yeah, so it can slightly kind of vary between roles. So I'm not I'll talk through the customer service role because that's the role that I mainly kind of work with. So with the customer service role, for example, you would apply with a CV, and then we would review that application. If we would progress, we would then invite you to an initial interview, which is normally sort of 15 to 20 minutes, just for us to get to know you a little bit better, hear a bit more about your background, why you're interested in people's energy, anything that stood out to you kind of about the company, customer service experience that you have. So we'd chat through that in that initial interview. Then there would be an online general reasoning test, which gets sent to everybody who applies for a role at People's Energy, regardless of the role. I just did one a couple of weeks ago. So that gets sent to everyone, and then once you've completed that, depending on that result, we would then have a sort of final stage interview. So with the customer service role, for example, this would be a telephone interview with one of our team leads from the customer service function, and that would be a competency-based interview. So looking for specific examples of things that you've done and kind of actions that you followed through with, and then there'd be a short kind of role play exercise with that interview as well, but that is specific to that customer service role, and it does vary for the other roles, but a similar process, kind of similar stages for those.
Thank you. Hopefully that helps people watching. And so if people are thinking about applying, then so you've mentioned, and Noel has very kindly put up the website there, so people can have a look at the careers on the website. Is that right? And you've got different things that you put up on LinkedIn. Is that how you advertise?
Yeah, so we advertise across a variety of platforms. So we do advertise on LinkedIn and Indeed as well. However, I would say kind of looking for the most kind of comprehensive kind of list, because it can depend. I would look on the website, and you can apply kind of through there as well, but that would give you a list of all the roles that we're currently open. So I'd probably go there first.
Okay, thank you. And what I would say, if anybody is looking for support with their applications, is do get in contact with us. At the end, I'll let you know the details again. So it might be that you want help with your CV, or if you've got an interview coming up, we can help you with that. We are linked with People's Energy as well to help support their recruitment, so we can directly put people forward. So that's just another avenue as well. If people have seen any new job roles that pop up on LinkedIn and you're a bit in the dark about using LinkedIn, or you want to set up profiles or again get support with that for finding employment, then do get in contact with us at Next Step as well. Rebecca, is there anything that you would say about working for People's Energy? It's a question that people probably wouldn't want to ask at interview, but is there what are the benefits for somebody to be employed with People's Energy?
Yeah, so in terms of I'll talk through benefits as well, but in terms of personally, it's been, a really great company to work with. Like I said, I've only been here for a couple of weeks, but it's been great to kind of really be immersed in that sort of community of people that work here, especially when you are working remotely, working from home. it can be quite different. So it's great. Everybody is very kind of open and honest. Like I mentioned, it's one of our values. We really encourage communication, asking questions, for example. Again, it's why we have the classroom-based training, so people do have that opportunity, that kind of build up that confidence, about who to go to, building those relationships, which was brilliant. So it has been, a really great company to work for in that respect. But in terms of kind of benefits packages, I guess, so we have 33 days of annual leave, kind of a standard. We have a cycle to work scheme that we can offer, enhanced maternity pay, kind of frequent mindfulness sessions, to focus on supporting, our employees and their mental health as well. That's really important to us, that everybody is happy and confident in their role. But yeah, there's kind of a variety of things that we have. It makes it a great place to work.
Great. Somebody's asking here then, is there any age limit for the jobs? I don't know whether that's upper or lower, but is there any age limits for people working in those roles?
Yeah, so no, we would welcome applications from kind of anyone with customer service experience, however long that experience is. That could be, like I said, in a contact centre, it could be kind of, face-to-face roles as well. But kind of no limit on that.
Okay, thank you. And one thing that I forgot to ask before, just because you're talking about a call centre, contact centre, and I think sometimes people worry that they might have to make outbound sales type calls to get in extra customers. And I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that, Rebecca, about how you guys operate.
Yeah, so the customer service role, for example, would be, inbound calls, dealing with questions and queries about accounts, payments, anything that our members that might want to know. The only kind of outbound calls that would be kind of required, are there's no sales calls. Maybe if you needed to follow up with a customer, give them some information, and you would be able to do that, but there's no sort of outbound sales calls with the role.
That's great. Thank you so much. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to say that I've not asked you the questions about. Any final words?
I think we've covered quite a lot. Obviously, if people have questions, we can cover them as well. But I think, we, like I said, we would encourage kind of applications from anyone with, customer service experience. Obviously, if there's any questions that people want to follow up with, us directly, they can also send us an email. It's recruitment@peoplesenergy.co.uk. I believe. So if anybody has, follow-ups that they want to chat to us about, or any other queries, then please just get in touch, and we can we can give you kind of anything, any information that you need about the role, about the company, anything that you're looking for.
That's great. Thank you so much, Rebecca. So I'm just gonna get rid of your video here. So we've got the detail. We'll put that email up as well, Rebecca. And if anybody's got follow-up questions on this live feed, then we can follow up with you and answer them as well. So thank you very much. And so just to close there, thanks everybody for joining us. It might well be that there's people who haven't been able to quite join us live, and that's fine. What I'm going to do is, once I have finished and closed this video, I'll upload it to the page as well. Thanks, Noel. So he's put there the follow-up email if you wanted to contact People's Energy directly. And feel free to share this video to anybody that you think it might be useful for. If you don't already follow our Facebook page, then please do so. There's lots of resources there as well, and you would be the first then to hear about any future events. These have been quite popular, the little live events that we've been doing with employers, so we'd hope to do some more of them. And the number for us at Next Step in Edinburgh again is 0300 365 0025. So like I said before, if you want any support, it doesn't necessarily have to be for People's Energy, but we can have CVs sent over directly from us. and we can support you with that recruitment process if you contact us and connect with us. But it might be that you are looking in other areas for employment, and we can help you as well. So thanks so much everybody for joining us. Hopefully that was useful. Personally, I think it sounds like a really lovely ethical company to work for. And like I say, do share, ask any follow-up questions you want to hear if you need in the comments, and we can do our best to answer them. Okay, have a wonderful afternoon everyone. Thank you.